I entered the foster care system when I was 4 years old. Imagine that, a 4-year-old in rural eastern Kentucky bouncing around from house to house, searching for stability. In May, I will graduate with my Ph.D. from the University of Delaware. You beat the odds. That's what they tell me all the time. You see, on average, only 10% of youth with foster care experience will graduate from college. That's 5 times lower than the national rate. So yeah, by those numbers, it might seem like I've beaten the odds. But what those numbers can't tell you, what those numbers won't tell you, is that my college journey has been filled with confusion and a whole lot of failure. You see, my college journey, my story, isn't one of beating the odds. My story is one of unwavering support that changed the odds. Supports that changed my odds. So tonight, I don't want to stand up here and tell you about statistics or individual stories of resilience. I want to tell you about the people, programs, and institutions that bet on me when I didn't think I stood a chance. Now, folks, whenever I say there was a whole lot of failure in my college experience, I wasn't joking. I got a 17 on my first college exam, a 17%. And that was with the class curve. I remember receiving that grade and running back to my dorm room and just crying. You see, I was supposed to be the first generation foster care prodigy. I was supposed to be the ones that beat the odds. But that test kicked my ass and really made me think whether I belonged anywhere near a college campus. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't have any other real options. I had to make this college thing work. So I decided I was going to hard work my way through this thing. And hard work I did. I would study for hours on end. I would study so much that I would actually end up getting caffeine poisoning from too many energy drinks. And my sleepwalking condition got so bad, my roommate was threatening to move out. This hard work thing wasn't working. I needed something different. I needed someone different. Turns out, I needed Dr. Neil Douglas. Dr. Douglas is by far the most Kentucky Southern mammologist you'll ever meet. And for 4 years, he'd serve as my advisor. But really, he was a teacher. He was a teacher in everything college doesn't teach. I remember sitting in his office, whittling arrowheads, and he'd break down the hidden curriculum of higher education. You see, Dr. Douglas gave me a safe space to ask questions and made this whole college thing a lot less scary. So yeah, that first semester, I worked really hard. But hard work wasn't enough. Dr. Douglas is one of the reasons I'm here today. Dr. Douglas is an odds changer. Now, folks, I wish I could say my list of failures ends there, but it does not. You see, I wasn't just failing college exams, I was failing college classes. Yeah. I remember when they gave us our list of classes. Most of mine were solid, but I had this problem. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I had to go to this whack philosophy class. Dude, I don't want to hear about how time is relative or how we might not all exist. All my friends were dropping classes, so I figured I would too. Dropped it, never went back. A class was dropped, and a young man's destiny was saved. So you might imagine my surprise when the end of the semester rolls around and the academic counselor calls me in her office and tells me I'm being put on academic probation. I passionately reassured her academic probation is no place for a scholar like me. I am a straight A student after all. Turns out I was a straight A student with one huge, giant, big letter F in, you guessed it, philosophy. Turns out dropping a class doesn't just mean never going to it again. Turns out you got to fill out a form and have a fancy meeting. Well, I didn't know about all of this invisible academic red tape. I did know that I could fight for my grades. I did know that in higher education, communication is everything. I knew this wasn't the end of the world because for all 4 years of my high school career, I was a part of Upward Bound. Upward Bound is a free, year-round program designed to help low-income, first-generation students like me. This program had equipped me with not only the skills, but the motivation to overcome this very hurdle. Upward Bound was an odds changer. Upward Bound's help didn't just stop there. I want to take us all the way back to my junior year of high school. In the middle of summer, in the middle of hot July, Upward Bound would cram all of its students in an auditorium for a presentation from a college in Kentucky. The college recruiter would go on to tell us about how his college offered free tuition and even a free computer to every student admitted. Now, folks, as a poor kid from the South, this seemed like one of two things: my golden ticket or a giant scam. Turns out there was no scam. Wrapped up in the ridgebacks of eastern Kentucky is Berea College, my golden ticket. For 4 years, I would receive help with finances, housing, and food. These supports would allow me to just be a student. These supports would remove barriers and create opportunity. And whenever it was time for me to go to grad school, the help didn't end. Whether it was GRE prep materials, finances for a fresh suit for interview day, or a brand new computer for my next academic chapter, Berea was there. You see, what makes Berea so unique is they treat financial stability as a learning condition, not a luxury. So yeah, people say I beat the odds. But the truth is, the odds changed. They changed when programs like Upward Bound and institutions like Berea chose to believe that potential isn't rare, rather opportunity is. We have to stop extracting these stories of individual grit, resilience, and determination and using them as this Band-Aid for the bullet hole that is deep systemic inequity that persists in higher education. If we want more youth at the margins thriving in higher education, we can't keep asking them to climb these mountains alone. We have to start moving these mountains out of their way. We have to change their odds. Thank you so much.